Brown Nation, welcome to another episode of KG Physique. कैसे हो आप लोग? It's been a while, but we're back on, and today's episode, like I mentioned on YouTube, is going to focus on being fit over the age of 35. तो हम लोग इंडिया में बहुत, 30-35 के हो जाते हैं, 40 के हो जाते हैं, and we start to get fat or थोड़ा unfit होते हैं. So I'm going to do this video to talk about what we can do, what you can do rather, to stay fit um, constantly into your middle age and into your old age. Doesn't matter if you haven't trained before. What we're going to do is give you some tips and tricks on how you can get into possibly the best shape of your life. All right, here we go. So this is me. One of the things I do is I sort of practice what I preach. I'm not on this page telling people to do things and not in shape myself. This is the current shape I'm in. I am actually 8 weeks out of a bodybuilding show, but this is the shape I'm in now currently. I'm 46 years of age, तो अगर मेरे लिए possible है तो I think anyone can. और इसका मतलब नहीं कि all of you, everybody has to look like this, कि abs चाहिए, you need rounded shoulders or biceps or ये सब. You don't have to do that, but fit रहना, whatever your definition or what your level of fitness is, as long as you're fitter than the average person, that's a pretty good thing, I would think. So I'm going to break this down and talk about a few things in a bit of detail. Um, some basic stuff, but I think it's worth redoing for a lot of you people who messaged me on Instagram and told me that you struggle with understanding a few things here and there. So we'll break it down and we'll go through it step by step. And hopefully at the end of this video, you've got some tips on how to better your health and get into shape. So the first thing we'll talk about is your diet. देख थोड़ा I understand हम लोग इंडिया में बहुत ऐसे vegetarians हैं. इसका मतलब नहीं कि we can't be in shape. You just have to look at your vegetarian sources. जो पनीर होता है, tofu, बहुत ऐसे vegetables भी है, बहुत ऐसे sources है इंडिया में in terms of food that you can get your amount of protein. हर कोई कह रहा है, बहुत सालों से people have said कि you need to focus on about 2 grams of protein per your kilogram of body weight, your ideal body weight. इसका मतलब क्या? If you want to weigh, say, 80 kilos as your lean, so let's say you're at the moment you're 90 kilos, you want to go down to 80 kilos. That means you should have about 160 to 180 grams of protein per day. You can get that 160, 180 grams of protein. I've got image here from fish, chicken, paneer. It depends. Meat are obviously easier if you get it from fish and chicken and meat, lamb, जो भी आप लोग खाते हो. Eggs is another good source. But diet is really important. और वो जो protein है, you must split that into 3 to 4 meals. तो उसमें क्या होता है कि it keeps you a bit fuller for longer as well. So if you eat breakfast and you eat, say, eggs, your lunch can be your lunch can be chicken. Your snack in between can be maybe fish at about 4 o'clock before you work out, and then your dinner can again be chicken or something else. या पनीर या जो भी है, whatever protein dish you have. And इसका मतलब नहीं कि you have to stop eating dal, you have to stop eating rice, you have to stop eating rotis. ऐसा कुछ नहीं. Those are your carb sources. You maintain those carb sources, and then you add, all you have to do is add extra protein. हम लोग इंडिया में क्या है, and actually I suppose हर जगह पे protein is the problem. Protein problem है. अगर आप protein खाते हो, तो you will put on muscle, और वो protein के बिना muscle नहीं बनती. If you don't believe me, जो state, you go to a state in India जहाँ पे most of the people are vegetarian, जैसे गुजरात. Go to a state where quite a few people eat meat, say Punjab. अब पंजाबी को देखो, अब गुजराती को देखो. Who looks stronger? कौन ज़्यादा लंबा है, चौड़ा है? Mostly Punjabis. A lot of bodybuilders come from there. A lot of wrestlers come from there. South में भी आप जाएंगे, Karnataka. A lot of people in Karnataka are vegetarian. Kerala, Chennai, eat a bit of meat. Who's bigger and stronger? More than likely, जो Kerala or Chennai से compared to Karnataka. So protein is really important. You must eat protein 4 meals a day, or even if you do 3, it's fine. 3 meals a day. Depending on your weight, I'd say probably around 200 grams of protein. If you're massive, if you're a 100 kilogram guy, then you might need 250, but around 200 grams of protein is enough. Your carbs and fat, that's something you work out based on your activity level. अगर आप जिम जाते हो एवरी डे तो यू कैन ईट अ बिट मोर कार्ब्स. अगर आप जिम 3 बार जाते हो हफ्ते में तो यू हैव टू रिड्यूस द कार्ब्स लिटिल बिट. अगर आप जिम जाते हो, यू आर आल्सो इन अ वेरी फिजिकली लेबोरियस जॉब, आप चलते बहुत हो फॉर वर्क, the carbs can go up. तो वो अलग है. That all depends on what you're basically doing. So that's your diet covered. इसके बाद क्या है? We talk about what your health is, right? Abhi, in one of my other videos, I've spoken about blood test that you do before any cycle. ये जो blood test है, it's really important that you get this blood test done to see, even if अगर आप steroids लेते हो नहीं लेते हो, doesn't matter. Blood test ये बहुत important है to know where your health is at whatever age. अगर आप 30-35 के ऊपर हो, you must get these checked. Testosterone level, you should know where your total testosterone is, where your free testosterone is, what your SHBG is. You know, total testosterone ka kuch, it doesn't mean anything if your HSBG is high, but that means that you don't have enough testosterone in your body to use to put on muscle. So you must check your free testosterone, your estradiol, and then the rest of the stuff that will tell you what you like. So your lipids, your liver, your kidney, your cholesterol. What is your starting point? आपका हेल्थ कहाँ पे है at this point? हम लोग डाइट करेंगे, ट्रेनिंग करेंगे, एक्सरसाइज करेंगे, we will better this. बाहर से अच्छा दिखेंगे, but we must know inside in the blood work what is going on. And that's only going to happen if you actually get your blood work checked. No guessing. No taking any guesses. Any doctor should be able to give you this. कोई भी doctor, आप जहीं भी हो, you should be able to get all of these things in your blood test. कोई reason नहीं है. Maybe at the most, gamma GT for your liver, शायद नहीं होगा कहीं पे, maybe cystatin C kidney के लिए नहीं होगा, it's fine. You must otherwise check it. So blood test, very important. Must do blood test. Then training. अभी मैं, this is a photo of me training. Yeah, I think मैं 3 हफ्ते पहले लिया था this photo. You can see मैंने दाढ़ी निकाल दी. You can tell me in the comments, दाढ़ी, if I'm better with a beard or without a beard. But so anyway, training is really important. मैं हफ्ते में 6 बार जाता हूँ, 6 times a week. I love training. I love the gym. It's not a challenge for me to go. Some people don't like the gym. So you have to force yourself. Completely up to you. For me, I love it, so it's not an issue, but you do need to train. Depending on your lifestyle, you can train sort of 3 days a week, 4 days a week, you will get results. Diet is really important, training is really important. Diet say fat, you can reduce your fat, eat the right food so your body recovers, and the training is where the damage happens. Where you go, you train, you damage your muscle, you eat the right food, you recover, and then you put on more muscle. लेकिन strength के लिए बहुत important है. एक्सरसाइज का बहुत ही फायदे है इन टर्म्स ऑफ मेंटल हेल्थ के लिए. जो अपने फीलिंग है, यू नो, व्हेन यू गेट इनटू शेप यू फील गुड, एंडोर्फिन्स रिलीज होता है, it's good for your joints as you get older, prevents dementia, Alzheimer's. I mean, every single benefit I training made, from reducing diabetes to not having blood pressure issues, um, insulin issues, all of it can be mitigated through exercise. Exercise is important. You don't have to go 6 days a week. You don't have to spend 3 hours a day in the gym. 1 hour is enough. I go for an hour, 15 minutes, hour 20 maximum. 1 घंटे से ज़्यादा, just sometimes a little bit over 1 hour. 6 हफ्ते में 6 बार. That is because I like it. You don't have to go 6 times. But that's all I do. अब सोचो, like in a week, अगर आप 1 hour, even up 90 minutes अगर spend करते हो, 5 days a week, how many hours is that? 5 hours, 90 minutes is what? 7.5 hours in a week. हर दिन में 24 hours होते हैं. So in a week, you've got 180 hours. You're spending 27 or something. You're spending 7.5 hours in the gym. It's not that hard. बहुत easier. अगर gym नहीं है, you can still train free weights. Push-ups कर सकते हो, pull-ups कर सकते हो. You can find things to do, side lat raises. A lot of options. You can look up YouTube. अगर exercise equipment नहीं है, put a chat GPT में जाके you can ask what can you do to train if you don't have equipment, and you'll get results from ChatGPT. Both easier. There's no reason to, no excuses really. Um, ट्रेनिंग जिम ट्रेनिंग इंपॉर्टेंट है एंड देन दी अदर पार्ट जो इम्पोर्टेंट है वो है कार्डियो. नाउ कार्डियो का मतलब क्या है? आई थिंक इन इंडिया हम लोग बहुत सोचते हैं कि कार्डियो मतलब यो रनिंग, बहुत भाग रहे, लाइक लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस रनिंग. दैट्स नॉट कार्डियो. Cardio होता है, you can do cardio for 30 minutes in the morning as soon as you wake up. Fasted cardio. Literally just doing brisk walking on the treadmill. अगर treadmill नहीं है gym में, like the gym is too far and you can't go twice a day. आप बाहर जा सकते हो. Just go for a walk outside in the morning. Most Indian cities में 5-6 बजे ज़्यादा roads are pretty empty. 30-minute walk. That's it. Brisk walk. Get your heart rate up. Take water with you. Heart rate up. Take water with you, and that will help you with managing your blood sugar, helps you keep your blood pressure in check, and also is good for a bit of fat loss. But you must do cardio. Keeps your HCT, your hematocrit. If your hematocrit is thick, which means your blood is thick, helps reduce that as well. So drink water, go for a walk. It's not that hard. बहुत easy है. 30 minutes every day. ज़्यादा कुछ करने की नहीं है. You don't have to do an hour, 2 hours, none of that. Marathon नहीं भागना है. All we're doing is walking. Pretty simple. इन टर्म्स ऑफ फिर सप्लीमेंट्स जो होती है, बहुत लोगों को एक सॉर्ट ऑफ एक ऑब्सेशन है कि वे प्रोटीन खाते हैं, वी ईट वे प्रोटीन, वी ईट क्रिएटिन, ये सब की इतनी जरूरत नहीं है. आई मीन वे प्रोटीन, इफ यू डोंट गेट इनफ प्रोटीन फ्रॉम योर फूड यू कैन हैव वे प्रोटीन, लेकिन एक ही प्रॉब्ली आज से वन सर्व इन अ डे, दैट्स इट, ज़्यादा नहीं. यू कांट रिप्लेस अ मील विद वे प्रोटीन. प्रोटीन आपको खाने से इट मस्ट कम फ्रॉम फूड. जो अच्छे सोर्सेज है, चिकन, फिश, एग्स, lean cuts of lamb, paneer, yes, sir. Not through protein powder. Protein powder is processed food. It's not a good thing. Creatine, the amount and benefits for creatine already there. Creatine, bought cheaper. You only need 5 grams in a day. You can take that anytime in the morning, or you can take that before you work out, or you can take it during your workout. Kabhi bhi le sakte. It is the cheapest supplement, the most researched supplement, and has the best bang for buck. Helps you with your, if you haven't slept well, it helps you with recovery, helps you with recovery from the gym, all of it. There are some people who have a intolerance to creatine. They get a bloated stomach. So if that's the case, it's fine. Don't have it. Um, it's okay. It's not that big a deal, but it's highly unlikely that it's not a lot that people are intolerant to it. So get your creatine in. Don't waste your money on any other supplements. Forget जो दूसरे trainers क्या बोलते हैं, Instagram पे क्या बोलते हैं. Forget all that. Just focus on whey protein if you need it. अगर आपको खाने से enough protein नहीं मिलता है, then you buy whey protein. Not important otherwise. And then creatine. That is it. अभी Instagram और YouTube से there are a lot of videos on PEDs. मैंने भी videos किया है on PEDs, on Primo, on testosterone. Peptides भी है, GLP-1, 2, 3, ये भी है. So PEDs are important. अगर आपको competition and compete करना है तो yes, PEDs can help. लेकिन जरूरी नहीं है. तो PEDs का क्या है? If you look at मेरे जो फिजिक है यहाँ पे, what the PEDs help in, आप देखेंगे यार shoulders पे there is roundness in the shoulders and chest is also round and I'm quite dry. और ये तो I'm still 8 weeks out. As I do more videos, I'll put more photos up of me as I get close to the comp, and you will see me get very lean, but also be very round in terms of the muscle. There's a fullness in the muscle. That growth hormone does that. तो ये जो PEDs है, yes, it's if you're competing, you'll need to take it. अगर untested competition है, IFBB, PCA, if you compete in those. अगर आप सिर्फ you want to be fit, तो PEDs की जरूरत नहीं है. If when you do your blood work, जब भी आप blood work करते हो, अगर at that point आपका यहाँ पे जो है testosterone अगर कम है, total testosterone, the free test कम है, then the doctor might suggest you to take testosterone. Maybe. So that's not PEDs, that's actual testosterone to get your testosterone levels up to what it should be, a normal level. हो सकता है that you might need that. But that is not PEDs. वो लेना plus or compared to testosterone enhancer 250 mg per mil plus Primo, for example, lena, two different things. Testosterone sirf TRT करना, testosterone replacement therapy is a medical intervention to help you bring your test levels up. Doesn't mean you're on steroids. They're two very different things. In terms of PEDs, a lot of things that you need to consider before you take PEDs. I've done a whole video on what you need to do before you start gear, so make sure you check that out. I'll put a link below. But yeah, make sure you check that out um, on what you can do in terms of what you need to do before you take PEDs, what you need to consider, and if you take it, what you need to watch out for. Whole separate series on that. So these are your basic sort of things that you need to do in order to get into shape. Over 35 means your life is not over. You certainly can put on muscle after the age of 35, after the age of 40. Very, very possible indeed. How you do that, completely up to you. If you have questions, reach out to me on Instagram. My uh, handles on my YouTube channel. And the ones who did reach out to me on Instagram, I will do a Q&A now so we can run through some of the questions I got. So firstly, thanks for sending those questions through. The guys who did it messaged me on my Instagram. That's my handle there, kg.physique. Do send me questions. Even if I don't have a Q&A, I'll definitely answer it. Or you can message me or put your comments in below this as well. So we'll run through the questions a bit. First one is Rahul. Rahul from Mumbai. That's where I'm from. I'm 38, has a busy job. Is lifting weights 3 times a week enough to build muscle? Yeah, for sure. Your diet is even more important. But yeah, definitely 3 times a week is enough. What I'd suggest is you probably split your training into a push day, a pull day, and a legs day. How you work that out, completely up to you. You can go, ideally, I'd say Monday, Wednesday, Friday, maybe. Um, or if you do weekends, you can go, Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday. Doesn't really matter. But push day, pull day, and then leg day. And then if you can walk or something, do some cardio in between on the other days, even better. If you can go to 4 days, of course, it's better, but there's nothing stopping you from putting on muscle 3 days a week. Diet's very important. Very important diet. You have less calories to play with because you're not burning enough calories. So less calories to play with. Your carbs have to come down a bit. Fat's got to come down a bit. Protein's got to go up. And then you work from there based on how you see results. Thank you, Rahul. Amit from Gujarat, do I need to stop eating rice and roti? Man, this is bullshit bloody propaganda where people think you need to stop eating carbs. Of course, you have to reduce your carbs. You can't eat all the rice in the world and all the rotis and all the ghee. And I'm guessing you're vegetarian if you are from Ahmedabad. So you're gonna have to reduce your carb, but not zero. No, you can keep eating rice and roti. I'm at the moment still eating rice. I'm on 180 grams of carbs a day. So that's enough rice and roti for me. But increase your protein. I think your challenge will be in Gujarat finding protein. Paneer, tofu, chickpeas, you're gonna struggle a bit. I think protein is the biggest issue for any कोई भी vegetarian जो होता है ना, protein is a bit of an issue. So you're gonna have to do a bit of research on protein to get that muscle gain up. All right. Next one, Karan D from Chandigarh. What's your opinion on TRT? Is it something every man over 40 should consider? So TRT, I mean, I've been on TRT since I was 37, 38, and I did it for bodybuilding purposes. It depends on your testosterone levels, and this is why you need to get your blood test done. When you get your blood test done, look at it for yourself. Look at your test levels for yourself. Look at your pre-test and look at your total test. And your pre-test is really important. अगर वो कम है compared to the average of people your age, and you have to remember, average is becoming less as well. क्योंकि हम लोग अभी because of pollution, because of processed food, because हम लोग ज़्यादा इतना exercise नहीं करते that people used to do in the 60s and 70s. There is a drop in testosterone worldwide. ये सिर्फ इंडिया का प्रॉब्लम नहीं है, हमेशा हर जगह होता है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया में होता है, यूएस में होता है, एवरीवेयर होता है. Testosterone levels for men has been gradually going down. So you might be on the average of what men are. If you're say, I'm guessing you're 40, 41, Karan. So if your testosterone level is average to an average 40-year-old, but you still feel really tired, mood nahi aati hai, your libido is low, you're generally in a bad mood, you recover from injuries really slowly, your testosterone could be low. So you can pump that up with TRT. Everybody's individual, so it depends on the person. But you need to go get your blood test done. You can message me on Instagram if you want. Just send me your blood test results and I can guide you whether you need it or not. More than likely, the doctor should be good enough to tell you. But if they don't, I mean, if you want a second opinion, yeah, just send me your blood test and I can tell you if it's low and if you need to do something. Or you can do the research yourself, completely up to you. Next one from Arjun, Telangana, GLP-1 for weight loss, GLP-1, 2, 3. GLP-1 or 2s or 3s में problem क्या है कि it lowers your gastric empty. एक तो है for people जो obese है, बहुत मोटे, who've never been able to diet, उनके लिए it's pretty good. दूसरा क्या एक they found in their study is that लोगों को जो addiction होती है, like alcohol addiction या जिनको पता नहीं चलता है when they're full, or yeah, people who are always hungry. So people who have a discrepancy with their ghrelin and leptin, people who have issues with those, they benefit really well with GLP-1s, 2s, and then GLP-3, which is not yet come out, but it should come out soon. So for them, yes, it helps. The one thing if that will happen is you will lose your interest in food. Now, if you're somebody who likes to go out once in a while with your family or your friends for a meal, you will lose interest in that. That's up to you if you're okay with that. Some people are not. Completely up to you. Um, it will slow down your gastric emptying. So it's also important that you eat the right food. Think about this. अगर आप say biryani खाते हो in Hyderabad, I'm guessing you're biryani. If you eat a very heavy biryani on a GLP-1 or 2, that biryani will stay in your stomach and digest very, very slowly. तो आपको पता है क्या, when you eat a biryani, how full you feel, right? If you eat a lot. Imagine that full feeling for lasting 2, 3 days. You will start to feel a bit sick. So your diet becomes even more important. If you look at the studies on GLP-1s and 2s and even 3 on the new one coming out, people have who they've been studying this on have said that they get an upset stomach when they take GLPs. Now you can counter that by microdosing 2 or 3 times a week, depending on your dose, or you can just eat better. If you eat healthy, your stomach won't be upset. You will be fuller. Yes, you will lose weight. 100% you will lose weight. Very, very rare to not lose weight on it. You will definitely lose weight. But yeah, just be aware that the enjoyment you get from food will go away. If you want that, that's fine. But just be aware. हो सकता है वो. All right, next one I have is Sandeep. Now, what point should somebody even think about PEDs? Are they worth it if you're not planning to compete? Me personally, no. I don't think. I would not recommend PEDs if you're not planning to compete. Again, if you're over 40 as a man, as an Indian man, you might need testosterone replacement therapy. That is different. If you're talking about PEDs, you're talking about Primo, you're talking about Anavar, you're talking about Tren, you're talking about DECA, NPP. If you're not competing, I don't know. I mean, just for what purpose? Like to, take some photos on Instagram? I don't know. I don't see the point. I think you should not do it. I think you should just stick to your diet. That's enough. And also depends like what you consider good physique is. Think about it. हम लोग इंडिया में बॉलीवुड एक्टर्स हैं जो ऐसे लोग हैं जो who would say Varun Dhawan has a good physique. Was that he's not very muscular, he's lean. दूसरा कौन है? Tiger Shroff, I suppose. वो muscular है. So I mean, it depends. And मैं bodybuilder. So when I look at bodybuilders, these guys, these actors are not anywhere near some of the bodybuilders. But the bodybuilders are on PEDs. I don't know if Varun Dhawan is on PEDs. I wouldn't imagine that. He doesn't look like his physique is anywhere near PEDs in the sense you can tell you get that dryness and fullness which he doesn't have. So I'd be very surprised. So if that's your goal body, if you're happy with that sort of look, no. And you have to consider PEDs are unhealthy. They're not healthy. PEDs are, there's always a risk taking PEDs. You need to be comfortable whether you want to take that risk or not, which I'm not sure you should if you're not competing. Because what's the point? I mean, किसको दिखाना है? Risk लेके किसको दिखाना है? So yeah, I wouldn't say so. That's my opinion though. Okay, final one. Rohan says, can I build a great physique naturally after 35 or do I eventually need PEDs? No. I started PEDs when I was 42 or 42 tak I was in shape all my life. So you can definitely develop a great physique. Again, how you define a great physique is up to you. It's not up to me. So you will get into shape, and if you're happy with what you look like, that's fine. It doesn't matter to anybody else. So, there will be people out there, Joe, who will look at my physique and say, Mira, you have a mid physique. It's not that great. That's fine. I'm happy with how I am. I'm 46 years old. The shape I'm in, how I feel, how much energy I have. You can see my skin, all good. Everything's fine for me. So I'm happy with how I look. And that's what you, Rohan, have to decide for yourself. Are you happy with how you look? And when you get into shape, that's it. You don't have to worry about it. If you want to push yourself further, if you want to compete, or for whatever reason you suddenly decide you want to be jacked, like jacked, then maybe you'll need PDs. But you definitely do not for certainty need it. No, a lot of people in good shape that don't take PDs, not at all. All right, I think that's the last of the questions I got. So thanks to all of you guys who sent the questions through. Um, we I will be doing another episode sort of next week. I hope you got some sort of benefit out of this video. If you have any more questions, please do reach out to my Instagram here. You can also send me a comment on this video. Make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. Uh, Make sure you like and comment as well. I see we've got about 900 follower subscribers now, but not enough comments. So please do comment for the algorithm. Um, yeah, I hope you reach out to me on Instagram as well. I've got a channel called Brown Nation, and I encourage you to come and join it so I can talk to you about my journey through prep and competition. And I've got quick questions that you can ask me directly on there as well, and also engage with other people. So until next time, as always, stay strong, stay brown.